See, in the previous lecture, that is on the Wednesday, right? We have taken this problem, but we are unable to complete this problem. Okay, so let me just revise you what is being done, so we can solve this problem completely, right? So see, this was a problem given. This is basically a truss having three elements, 1, 2, 3. At this point it is fixed, at this point it is provided with a roller, and at this point it is free, where they applied two load. One, it is in vertical direction, second it is in horizontal direction. In vertical they have applied 10 kilonewton, in horizontal they have applied 20 kilonewton. The point where they applied the roller or provided the roller, at that point they applied 30 kilonewton, right? Now see, in the problem elements were formed. Now our step is only to form the, or to number the nodes. Okay, so see, this is element number 1, it is given, so I will write down this as element number 1. I just redraw this diagram again, and on that diagram I have written this element number 1. Okay, similarly I have written here element number 2, similarly I have written here element number 3, right? Now I have numbered the node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, right? Now see, once you number the node, we have given the coordinates to every node. So for that, we assume node 1 as a reference with coordinate 0, 0. Then we are located node number 2 with respect to node number 1, that is 800, 0. Then we are located node number 3 with respect to node number 1, that is 800, 600, right? So see, this problem will basically belong to truss, right? So each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Each node can move in a horizontal direction as well as it can move in a vertical direction. So this node will have 2 degree of freedom, 1, 2. Next, this node 2 again will have this 2 degree of freedom, 3, 4. And this node 3 will again have 2 degrees of freedom, 5, 6. What is the meaning of 1? Node 1 will move in X. What is the meaning of 2? Node 1 will move in Y. Similarly, what is the meaning of 3? Node 2 can move in X. What is the meaning of 4? Node 2 can move in Y. Similarly, what is the meaning of 5? Node 3 can move in X. What is the meaning of 6? That is node 3 can move in Y. So there are 6 degrees of freedom. Basically, you understand. There are 3 nodes. There are 3 nodes in the problem, and each node can move in 2 directions. So 3 into 2 is 6. So total degrees of freedom for the problem are 6. Okay. So your size of the global matrix will be 6 by 6. Okay. Now next step will be to draw this table. Okay, rather to form this table. So in this table, you can see here you have element number. So I have element number 1, 2, 3. Here you have the nodes in which that element is lying. So node 1, it is between 1, 2. Node 2, element number 2, it is between 2, 3. And element number 3, it is between 1, 3. Just side of that, you write down the coordinates, X and Y coordinates of every node. That I done. Next thing that you required is length of the element. Okay, so the length of the every element, it is given in the problem, 800, 600, 1000. So I have written 800, 600, 1000. Next, L can be calculated by using this formula, xj minus xi by le. That is xj minus xi, that is 800 minus 0 by 800. So that is 1. Similar thing for this element, similar thing for this element. Similarly, we can calculate m, that is yj minus yi by le, that is 0. That is yj is 0, minus yi, that is again 0. So 0 minus 0 by le, that is 800. So 0 minus 0 by 800 is 0. Okay, same I'm going to repeat for element number 2, element number 3, right? Then L square, 1 ka square, it's 1. Then L into m, that is 1 into 0 is 0. Then m square, that is 0 square is 0. Same I'm going to repeat for every element. Okay, that I've done. After that, I have written the formula for element stiffness matrices. It is given by AE by L square, LM, M square. Okay, on this side you have same thing negative. On this side you have same thing negative. On this side you have positive thing, right? So I am going to write down that stiffness matrix for element number 1, A, E, L of element number 1 into L square, LM, M square of element number 1. So if you do that, this term was coming 112.5. I multiplied by 1. So I got it 112.5. When you multiply it by 0, you will get 0. When you multiply it by 0, you will get 0. When you multiply it by 0, you will get 0, right? So same thing is here, but with the negative sign. Same thing is here, and the same thing is here. Okay, so same I'm going to do it for 2, do it for 3. Okay, then I form the global stiffness matrix, whose size is given by 6 by 6. Because there are 3 nodes, each node can move in 2 directions. So 3 into 2 is 6. So this I form. How I form this matrix? I just pick the element stiffness matrices and pick it here in the global stiffness matrices, right? So this matrices I pick, I place it here. Similarly, this matrices I pick, I place it here. Similarly, this matrices I pick, I place it here, right? So this is how I got the element stiffness matrices, right? Now we have this equation. Element stiffness matrices multiplied by displacement is given by force, right? So these are the displacements. There are 3 nodes, and each node can move in 2 directions. So there are 6 displacement. Similarly, there will be 6 forces, right? So U1 and U2, they are the displacement at node 1. U1 and U2, they are displacement at node 1. U1 is in X direction, U2 is in Y direction. Similarly, U3 and U4, they are displacement at node 2, their displacement at node 2. U3 is in X direction, U4 is in Y direction. Similarly, U5 and U6, they are displacement at node 3. Okay, U5 is in X direction and U6 is in Y direction, right? Now, if you see this problem, what happens is at node number 1, they have provided with the fixed support. So node 1 cannot move in any direction. That's why U1 and U2 are 0, because with respect to node 1, you have 1 and 2. So this U1 and U2 are 0. Similarly, if you go for node 2, at node 2, they are provided with the roller. So roller can't move if you see this roller, it can't move in vertical direction. Okay, so at node 2, you have this degree of freedom 3, which is basically for X direction, and degree of freedom 4, which is for Y direction. So roller cannot move in Y direction. That means U4 is 0. U4 is 0, right? Is it okay with this one? So this first, see, U1 is 0, first row, first column gets cancelled. U2 is 0, second row, second column gets cancelled. And U4 is 0, that's why fourth row, fourth column gets cancelled. So what do you have? You have the equation with 3 unknown. You have the equation with 3 unknown. That is U3, U5, and U6. So you need to solve this 3 simultaneous equation. You're supposed to solve this 3 simultaneous equations with the unknown U3, U5, and U6, provided you know F3, F5, and F6. Okay, so that we are not entered. Tell me, what is the value of F3, F5, and F6? F3. What is F3? What is F3? See, what is 3?
30 kilometers.
It is related with X direction. 3, it is related with X direction. And force in X direction. Force in X direction. Is there any force
30.
at node 2 in X direction?
Yes, sir.
What is that
30
force?
kilometers.
30 kilonewton, right?
30
30 kilonewton.
kilonewton.
Is it okay or not? So I'll put that. 30 kilonewton, right? Is it okay or not? I'll put directly in kilonewton because I have E in gigapascal, length is in mm, area is in mm square. So I'll put that directly, right? Next, F3 you written F5. What is F5? F5 it is related with X direction. F5.
20
So force at
kilonewton.
node 3 in X direction. How much?
20, sir. 20.
Right, it is 20 kilonewton. Is it okay? It is 20 kilonewton, right? Now, what is F6? F6, it is related with the Y direction. What is Y direction? What do you
10
have?
kilonewton.
It is Y, but it is going
-10.
down. It is -10. Is it okay? So you just solve this
Yes, sir.
and tell me the value of U3, U5, and U6. Do it. Tell me U3, U5, U6.
.267.
All of you getting same answer? U3?
0.266.
0.266. It is in mm. U3 are done. U5?
0.47.
0.47. Right? 0.47. And U6?
Minus 0.167.
Minus 0.167. All of you check this answer. 0.26,
Yes,
0.47,
sir.
and minus 0.167. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right? So our next step will be, okay. See, we have calculated now displacements. Now we need to calculate reactions to check whether our displacements are correct or not, right? So see, where you will get reactions, where you have a displacement 0. What is the meaning of displacement 0? It is fixed. Obviously, the point where structure is fixed, at that point you will get a reactions, right? So calculate F1. How will you calculate F1? First row, this column, right? So F1 is given by See this 170 into this U1 is 0 again.
0,
This 43.2 into U2 is 0. What is
0,
remaining? Minus 112.5 into U3. This is again 0, right? This is 0. Then what is remaining? Minus 57.6 into U5, right? Minus 43.2 into U6, right? Is equal to F1. So just put the values and calculate the value of F1. Just put the values and calculate the value of F1. Do it fast. F1. What is the value of F1? Let me know immediately. Let me know.
Minus 49.86.
Minus 49.86. All of you check
Yes,
the
sir.
answer. All of you getting same? Minus 49.86. Whether you're getting same answer. So can we do for F2? How will do F2? Initial two terms are 0. Again, this third term is 0. Again, this fourth term is 0. What is remaining? It's minus 43.2 U5 minus 32.4 U6 is equal to F2. Right? So calculate the value of F2. Calculate the value of F2. Tell me the value of F2. What you are getting? All of you do the calculation and let me know.
Minus 14.89.
Minus 14.89. Right? Now we will go for F4. F4. How will we do that? Fourth row and this column, right? So this into this is 0 again. Then 0 into U2 is 0. Then 0 into U3 is 0. Right? 150 into U4 is 0. 0 into U5 is 0. What is remaining? Minus 150 U6. Right? Minus 150 U6 is equal to check it, all of you. Minus 150 U6 is
25.05.
equal to F4, right? Yes or no?
Yes. 25.05.
Is equal to F4. So how much you are getting? F4?
25.05.
25.05 kilonewton. Is it okay? Now we need to check the summation of forces in x direction. So which are the forces in x direction? Which are with odd numbers? That is F1 plus F3 plus F5. Okay, F1 just we have calculated minus 49.86 plus F3 it is 30 plus F5 it is 20, right? So how much answer you will get? You will get approximately equal to 0, right? Just check it. Then go for summation of Fy. That is with the even numbers. That is F2 plus F4 plus F6, right? So is given by F2 is minus 14.89 plus F4. F4 is 25.05 plus F6. It's minus 10, right? So just check what answer you're getting. Right? You
0.16.
will again get approximately 0, right? Yes or no? So see, your summation of forces, it is approximately equal to 0. That means the answer for the displacement that you got, it's a correct value, right? So next step will be the calculation. Next step will be the calculation of what? Stresses, right? We are supposed to calculate the stresses. So for that, we required strain, right? For that, we required strain. So I will calculate strain in element number 1. Strain in element number 1, right, is given by 1 by length of element into what? Minus L minus M L, M. Is it okay or not? This formula I already told you in the last lecture. Minus L, minus M, L, M, right? Into what? Now see, if you see this element number 1, all of you see this element number 1. Have you seen this element number 1? Just see this element number 1. It is between two nodes,
Yes,
1
sir.
and 2. Element number 1, it is between 1, 2. And for 1, 2, which degrees of freedom are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I need to write down here U1, U2, U3, U4. Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is it okay or not? Just check it. See, for element number 1, I'm doing 1 by LE minus L minus M, L, M. Okay, now see for element number 1, it is between 1, 2, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just put the values, right? 1 by length of the element. What is the length of first element? It is 800 into minus L, that is 1, minus M, that is 0 only, and L is 1, and M is 0, right? Then U1 and U2, it is 0, right? U1 and U2 is 0. What is U3 and U4? U3, it is 0.266, okay? And U4 is 0, right? So just solve it. All of you just solve it. You know how to solve that. Minus 1 into 0 is 0. 0 into 0 is 0. 1 into 0.266. Okay, so I'll write down here. So is equal to 1 into 0.266 upon 800. So tell me what answer you're getting.
3.325 into 10 raised to minus 4.
3.325 into 10 raised to
Minus 4.
minus 4, right? Is it okay to all? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
This is for element number 1 you are done, right? So can we do same thing for element number 2? Can we do that? Strain in element number 2 is given by 1 by LE, right? Minus L, minus M, L, M, right? This is a standard formula. Minus L, minus M, L, M. Next. Okay, now here it is important. Now see, just see this one, all of you. Okay, just see this. So if you see this element number 2, it is between node 2 and 3. Therefore, node 2 you have degree of freedom 3, 4, and here you have 5, 6, right? So I need to write down as U3, U4, U5, U6. Is it okay? Yes or no? Is it okay to each of you? Right? Yes or no? Let me know. Now, just see. For element number 2, what is the length of element number 2? It's a 600, right? 600 into minus L. L is 0. So minus L is obviously 0. Minus M. See, M is 1. So minus M is minus 1. Then L is 0. And here it is 1, right? Into U3. Now we require U3, right? Just only we have written this value, U3. This is the value of U3. 0.266. U4, see here, U4, it is 0. U5, U6, it is, we have calculated 0.47 and minus 0.167, right? Is it okay or not? So just do this calculation. I will do that. See, this into this is 0. Minus 1 into 0 is 0. 0 into 0.47 is 0. So
Minus
what is remaining? It's
2.78.
1 into minus 0.167 divided by 600. Tell me, how much answer you're getting?
Minus 2.78.
Minus 2.78 into something you're getting?
10 raised to minus 4.
10 raised to minus 4.
Minus 4, right? This you have got it for strain in element number 2, right? Strain in element number 2. Now we need to calculate strain in element number 3. Okay, again I will write down same formula. 1 by LE, right? Minus L, minus M, L, M, right? This into, now this is a very important thing. Now see, if you see this here, right? Just see here, for element number 3, it is between node 1 and 2, 1 and 3. Element number 3, it is between node 1 and 3. For 1, you have 1, 2, and for 3, you have 5, 6. Okay. So here I need to write down like this: U1, U2, right? U1, U2, and U5, U6, right? Because it is between 1, 2, and 5, 6, right? It has the degree of freedom 1, 2, and 5, 6. So that is what is written, right? Now 1 by. Now what is the length of this element? It's 1000, right? Length of third element, it's 1000 into minus L. Minus L is minus 0.8. Minus M is minus 0.6. Okay, then L is 0.8. M is 0.6, right? Into, right? U1, U2. Say U1 is 0 only. Here you can check. Right? U1 is 0, U2 is 0, U1, U2 0. You find U6. We have calculated. This is U5, this is U6. That is 0.47, and U6 is minus 0.167. Okay. So just do the calculation and see what we are getting. See, initial two terms are 0. See, this into this is 0, this into this is again 0. So what is remaining is 0.8 into 0.47 plus 0.6 into minus 0.167. Okay, 167 divided by your 1000. Right? So just check what answer you're getting. Let me know what value of strain you are getting.
2.758 into 10 raised to minus 4.
2.758 into.
10 raised to minus 4.
Okay, so
Minus
these are the
4.
values of strains that you have got. Okay, now we are interested to calculate stress. So stress in element number 1 is equal to E into strain. Similarly, stress in element number 2 is given by E into strain in element number 2, right? Similarly, stress in element number 3 is given by E into strain in element number 3, right? So we have the value of E. We have the value of E as, what value of E they have given in the problem is 300 gigapascal into strain in element number 1, just a time before we have calculated, 3.325 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. So this you can do, right?
0.09975.
How much?
0.09975 gigapascal.
0.098
9975.
gigapascal. Right. Next, do it for element number 2. It is
Sir,
this
0.0, sir, 0.0.
0.0.
0.0.
Okay. This is again 300 into this value, that is minus 2.78 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. So you'll get some value. And here again 300 into 2.758 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. So you'll again get some value.
Minus 0.0834.
Minus 0.083 gigapascal. Is okay? And for this one,
0.08283.
0.083. This is for second one, na? For third one, same.
Same, sir.
Minus नहीं रहेगा बस.
Okay. So have you understood this numerical, all of you? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
understood, each of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I have briefed you what is been taken in the last lecture. Okay, fastly, because some part of this numerical was done in the last lecture. So I have briefed you about that. Okay, fastly, and further. Okay, we have done these calculations. This calculation calculation of displacement, reactions, strains, right? And the stresses in today's lecture. Okay, is it okay to each of you? Let me know, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see, on the analysis of truss, we have solved two problems, right? Two problems, right? So you can practice more problems. Okay, you can practice more problems, and if you have any doubt, you can let me know. Okay. Now what we'll do is, now we will take, or rather we're going to start with the new chapter. Okay, and the name of the chapter is analysis of, okay, analysis of truss, right? Sorry, analysis of beam. Okay, in the last lecture we have taken analysis of truss. Now for this lecture we're going to start with the analysis of beam, right? Now see, basically you should understand what is beam. Okay, so whether you have any idea what is beam? What is beam?
Horizontal member
Right, see, beam is basically the horizontal member which is loaded vertically, right? If you see
Yes.
the beam, it is basically the horizontal member which is loaded vertically. So try to first understand what is the difference between truss and beam. Okay, see here, if you talk about truss, let me compare what is truss and what is beam. If you talk about truss, okay, just see simple example of truss. Okay, see, this is the initial diagram. This is the initial diagram of the truss, right? Okay, let this truss be fixed here, let this truss be fixed here, right? Okay, and let's say, okay, you're applying some force here, you're applying some force here, right? So what happens once we applied the force? Okay, this becomes the new position of the truss. This becomes the new position of the truss. Are you able to get this one? When you apply the force, when you apply the force on the truss, what will happen? The force is applied in X as well as Y direction. So as a result, okay, every node will deform in X and Y direction. Okay, so if you talk about this term, it is a vertical displacement, right? See here, all of you see. Let me call this as node number 1. Let me call this as node number 2. Let me call this as node number 3. Okay, so this is the displacement. Okay, now each node will have 2 degrees of freedom, 1, 2, right? This will have 2 degrees of freedom, 3, 4, and this will have again 2 degrees of freedom, 5, 6. See here, node 1 will have 2 degrees of freedom, 1, 2. Node 2 will have 2 degrees of freedom, 3, 4. Node 3 will have 2 degrees of freedom, 5, 6. So if you see this, okay, this is U3, right? This is U3, right? Displacement at node 2, sorry, this is U4, right? This is U4. This is the displacement of node 2, okay, in Y direction. Okay, and if you see this term, okay, if you see this term, okay, this is nothing but U3. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? This is the displacement at node 2 in X direction, and this is the displacement of node 2 in Y direction. Displacement of node 2 in X direction is U3. Displacement of node 2 in Y direction is U4. Is it okay with this diagram? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have basically this truss which are having 3 nodes, node number 1, node number 2, and node 3. Each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Here it is 1, 2, here it is 3, 4, here it is 5, 6. So when you apply the load, what will happen? The truss is going to deform like this. Okay, so this node 2 will occupy this new position. Let me call this as 2 dash. So this is the new position of the node 2. So at see, node 2 which was initially here got displaced here, and the new position is 2 dash. Okay, so what is the horizontal displacement of node 2 in X direction? It is U3. What is the vertical displacement of node 2? It is U4, right? Is it okay? And what is the displacement of node 2? Sorry, node 1 and node 3 in X and Y direction? They are 0 because they are fixed. Yes or no? Is it okay or not? So U1 is 0. Similarly, U2 is 0. Yeah, because they are fixed. Similarly, U5 is 0 and U6 is 0. So that is basically truss. So truss, every node can move either in horizontal direction or it can move in vertical direction. That is truss. Now come back to beam. Okay, so let's consider this beam. Okay, I will make this beam. Okay, this is basically the beam which is supported at two ends. Okay, you can call this as simply supported beam, right? Okay, let me call this as node number 1. Okay, let me call this as node number 2. Okay, and what I done, I applied some force here. Okay, otherwise now I will not number them. Okay, now let's say I applied some load, let's say 50 kilonewton I have applied, right? So when you apply the load, what will happen is see this is the initial diagram which I will draw. This is the initial diagram which I'll draw. See here, I will repeat that diagram. This is the initial diagram, right? Now let me call this as node number 1. Now the point where they applied the load, okay, let me call that as node number 2, and let me call this as node number 3. Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Now see the point where they applied the load, as a result of the application of load, what happens is this beam is going to deform like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? What is about displacement at node 1? It is 0. What is about displacement at node 3? It is again 0 because it is fixed. What is about displacement at node 2? Right? So you have this vertical displacement at node 2, and we will call this as V2. Right? You have vertical displacement at node 2, which we will call it as V2. Is it okay or not? Vertical displacement now we will call it as V. Okay, so this is the vertical displacement of node 2. I will call this as a V2. Okay, and in addition to that, if you see this beam, it is see get bent, or for this particular beam you have movement about z-axis. See here, this is x-axis, yes or no? See, this is x-axis, right? This is y-axis. Is it okay or not? This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and if you see the direction of this, see, all of you see this. If you see this direction of this plane, it is in z direction. See here, this is x direction, this is y direction, and if you see this direction of this sketch plane, okay, it is basically in z direction. Okay, so your beam is going to get deformed about z axis. Okay, you have the movement about z axis. Is it okay? Yes or no? Is it the movement about z axis? You have some curvature like this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see what you have. You have displacement. Okay, you have displacement in y direction. Try to understand. You have displacement in y direction. Yes or no? See, vertical it's a y direction. So you have displacement in y direction, as well as you have movement about z axis. Are you able to understand? In the beam, what do you have? In the beam, what do you have? You have the displacement in y direction. Okay, displacement in y direction, or you call it as displacement along. If you want, in, or you call it as along. Displacement in y direction or displacement along y direction. And similarly, you have movement about z axis, because this is x axis. Okay, that is the x axis is along the length of the beam. Y axis, it is perpendicular to the length, and z axis, it is perpendicular to both x and y, right? So if you see this sketch plane, it is z axis. Okay, so about the z axis you have the movement. Is it okay? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let me
Yes.
know. So in truss, what you have displacement in x and y direction. Yes or no? In truss, what you have displacement in x and y direction. But in the beam, what you have displacement only in y direction, but you have movement about z axis. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you? Is it okay to each of you? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will start with the problem. Okay, now let's see this problem. Okay, so let's see this problem. Okay, calculate displacement calculate displacement and reaction. Calculate the displacement and reaction at the nodes. Okay, calculate the displacement and reaction at the nodes. Okay, so let's see this problem. Okay, this is basically the beam which is given. At one end, it is connected to fixed support. At the other end, it is provided with the roller. Okay, this total length is 10 mm. And what they have done, at a distance 5 meter from the fixed support, at a distance 5 meter from the fixed support, they applied the load 20 kilonewton. They applied the load 20 kilonewton. This beam, it is made up of a material with value of E as 200 gigapascal, and value of I is given as 24 into 10 raised to power minus 6 meter raised to power 4. Value of I is given. Okay. Is it okay with this problem?
सर लेंथ मीटर में ही दिया हुआ है क्या?
Length, that we will do. No? That is some unit conversion we are supposed to do. Thing is like that. See, E is in gigapascal. See here, E is in gigapascal. Here, see, here you can do the two things. E is in gigapascal. Okay, that is okay. That is okay. Right? You have length. Right? You have length. After the E, just take I. I is in meter. This meter raised to power 4. I is in meter raised to power 4. So it won't work out. Okay, it won't work out. You need to convert that into mm raised to power 4. Is it okay?
सर आई क्या है?
I is moment of inertia. I is moment of inertia. That I will let you know why it is required. EI. Again, length. Length, it is in meter. Okay, so again it won't work out. Right? It won't work out. You need to have it in mm. Right? Yes or no? Is it okay? And force, it is in kilonewton. So it is okay. It is okay. So this two unit conversions are required. Otherwise, what you can do is you convert this E, okay, into Pascal, right? E into Pascal, right? Just by multiplying by 10 raised to power 9. What is your I? It is already there. I is in meter raised to power 4. So there is no problem, right? Then your length is again in meter. There is no problem, right? And your forces, it is in kilonewton. So you convert this into Newton. Is it okay? So which is okay? This first one is okay or second one is okay?
First one, sir.
This one you find to be okay. You won't find this okay. Because here what you need to do, you just need to multiply by this 10 raised to power 9. Okay, and force you need to multiply by 10 to the power 3.
Second one easy.
Second one easy.
This one is okay, na? This is easier. In whichever method you want, we will do that. That is not a problem.
Second method से करते हैं.
So let's do that, right? See, now we are interested to solve this problem, right? So what is very basic step is the discretization, right? We should form the elements, right? So if you see this is a single element, right? You see, if you can see, this is a beam, right? This is a beam. So it's a single element, right? So this has to be a single element. If you see this beam, it is to be a single element, right? Because it is made up of a same material. See, this entire beam, it is made up of same material E, as well as it is having same cross-sectional I. So it's a single element, right? But what they have done, they have applied some load here, right? So as a result of this, as I told you, the point where they applied the load, at that point you form the node. So I need to form the node here. So as a result, I see this entire beam is going to get divided into two elements, right? So this is first element, right? This is second element. Okay. So this is node number 1, right? This is node number 1. This is node number 2, and this is node number 3. Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now question will be degrees of freedom, right? Degrees of freedom. Is it okay? As I told you, each node can move in. Okay, just see here. Each node can move in y direction, as well as, see, at every node you have displacement in y direction, as well as you have movement about z axis, right? You have movement about z axis. So see, let's see here. Let v1 is the displacement at node 1 in x direction, sorry, in y direction. Let v1 is the displacement at node 1 in y direction. Similarly, let v2 be the displacement at node 2 in y direction. Similarly, let v3 be the displacement at node 3 in y direction. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? v1, v2, v3, they are displacement at node 1, node 2, and node 3 in y direction. Is it okay? Okay? Yes or no?
Yes,
V1,
sir.
V2, V3,
Yes,
they are
sir.
displacement at node 1, node 2, node 3 in y direction. Similarly, we will have theta 1, okay, theta 2, and theta 3. What is theta 1, theta 2, theta 3? Okay, these are the movement. These are movement about z axis. See here. What is written? Displacement in y direction. That is y1, v1, v2, v3. And movement about z axis. What is that? Movement about z axis. Theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3. Say yes or no. Let me know. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Now see, there is question. Okay, sir, why you have taken this displacement in y direction? Okay, as upward. Why you have taken? At the same time, you can ask me, sir, why you have taken movement about z axis? That is theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3 in anti-clockwise direction only. This might be a question. So here I'm assuming that upward is a positive value, right? As well as anti-clockwise is again a positive value. Let me clear. This is assumption. V1, V2, V3, it is in upward. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, it is in anti-clockwise direction. This is assumption. Now when we calculate, if value of V2 is coming minus, suppose if value of V2 is coming minus, that means whatever the direction of V2 that we assume is wrong. Then what is the correct direction of V2? It's a downward. Is it okay or not? Let me clear.
Yes, sir.
See, what I have done, I assume V1, V2, V3 as upward, that is positive. Similarly, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 as a positive. Okay, that is anti-clockwise direction. V1, V2, V3 upward, that is positive. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, that is anti-clockwise, that is positive. This is just an assumption. Now, when we calculate the value of V2 and if it is coming negative, see, if V2 is coming positive, that means it is upward. That is not an issue. But if V2 is coming negative, that means whatever the direction we assume is wrong, right? So what is right? It is going downward. Similar case is going to happen with the theta 2. If theta 2 is coming positive, that is not a problem. But if theta 2 is coming negative, that means our direction is wrong. Then what is the correct direction of theta 2? It is clockwise. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now let's start with this problem, right? Now as I told you, each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Okay, so this is 1, 2. What is the meaning of 1? What is the meaning of 1? The node 1 can move in x, that is v1. What is the meaning of 2? Okay, the movement about z axis, that is theta 1. Similarly, here you have 3, 4. Here you have 5, 6. Right? Say yes or no. See, 1 it is related with v1. 2 it is related with theta 1. 3 it is related with v2. 4 it is related with theta 2. 5 it is related with v3. 6 it is related with theta 3. Is it okay or not? Let me know. See, are you able to understand or not? Let me know. See, same we have done it for truss. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have we done it or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? Same we have done it here. Thing is like that. In the problem of beam, I have not assigned the coordinates. Because I doesn't need to form this table. That's why I have not assigned the coordinates. Because if you want to form this table, the coordinates are required. Because calculation in the table will be done based on these coordinates, right? Now let's do that. Now see, all of you, here very important thing you are supposed to remember is, okay, is EME, that is called as element matrix equation, that you are supposed to remember. Element matrix equation. Okay, so I'll write down element matrix equation, element matrix equation for beam element matrix equation for beam element is given by, see, this is very important, you remember this, is given by, sorry, the others I will write down, K is given by EI by L cube. See, EI by L cube, K is given by EI by L cube. Okay. Then we have 12, 6L, 4L square, right? Then we have here minus 12, 6L, minus 6L, 2L square, right? Then we have minus 12, minus 6L, 2L square, right? Then we have 12 minus 6L, 4L square. Right? So this is the formula for EME for what? Beam element. Listen, this problem belongs to beam, so you have this EME. You see in this, okay, today's lecture we have seen this problem of a truss, right? So for truss, okay, so for truss, what was the EME? For truss, what was the EME? Can anybody tell me? For truss, what was the EME? Huh? I remember this EME for truss. Can you see this?
Sir.
AE by L square LM M square. This was the EME for truss, right? AE by L square LM M square. Then here negative, positive. Okay. So in the similar manner, okay, this is the EME for what? Beam element. Obviously, the EME is going to vary from, okay, problem to problem, right? Or from element to element, right? Here it is a beam element, so you have different EME. Now, question is from where this EME has been came, right? So as I told you in the last lecture, EME is being derived by solving the governing differential equation by using Rayleigh-Ritz method, right? So you have some equation, governing differential equation for the beam. When you solve that governing differential equation by using a Rayleigh-Ritz method, it is going to end with this EME. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, we have solved the governing differential equation of bar under axial load. Similarly, we have solved the governing differential equation for fin. Okay, and in that case, we have calculated the value of EME. Okay, so this you can do it for every problem. Like you can do it for truss also, you can do it for beam also, right? So let's do it. Calculate this stiffness matrix for element number 1. I will do that. Tell me how to do that. E. What? So those who are telling, just do it in gigapascal. We will do that. Not a problem. Gigapascal will do. Chalo. E. What is the value of E? 200. Is it okay? I. This is in meter raised to power 4. Now I need to do that into mm raised to power 4. How will do that? 24 into 10 raised to power minus 6 into, how to convert meter into mm? How to convert meter into mm?
10 raised to minus
Meter into mm.
10 raised to 3.
Tell me how to do that. You have meter. How will do it in mm?
10 raised to minus 3.
Meter to
No,
mm is
plus
10 raised to power minus 3.
Sir, 3.
3 only.
You tell me a single answer which is correct.
Sir 1000 से multiply कर दो.
Right? It is multiplied by 10 raised to power 3. See, but it is meter raised to power 4,
Yes.
right? So
Yes,
when
sir.
you will do that, okay, this is
12.
10
this
raised to
mm raised
minus
to power
10
4,
raised to
right?
12.
So what you will get? 24 into, right?
10 raised
This
to
is
6.
24 into 10 raised to power minus 6, and this will come as 12, right? This will come as 12. So
Plus
12,
6.
12 minus 6, it is 6. So it is 10 raised to power 6. Mm raised to power 4. Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but see, if you do this L, okay, we'll do that. Chalo, we'll do that. Right? So E is being done. So I have put E. E is in gigapascal. I will put 24 into 10 raised to power 6, right? 24 into 10 raised to power 6 upon L. Now this length has to be in mm. Length has to be in mm. See here, length has to be in mm. So what is that? 5 meter. This 5,000.
5,000.
Okay, na?
Yes.
5,000 cube, right? Into, so see, I will let you know what happens there. 12, right? Into 6 into L, 6 into L. Now length is what? Length is 5,000. Length is 5,000. Is it okay or not? Let me know, is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
6 into L. L is 5,000. So 5,000 into 6,000. Sorry, 6. 5,000 into
30,000.
6. Bolo.
30,000.
30,000. Next, here it is again.
30,000.
30,000. And 4 into L square. Length is 5,000. Okay, 4 into L square. That is 4 into 5,000 square. Tell me.
So पूरे एलिमेंट की लेंथ नहीं लेंगे क्या एल की जगह पे
No, we are talking about element number 1. Na? See, we are writing stiffness matrix for element number 1. So its length is 5 meter. That is 5,000.
ठीक है
So tell me, 4 into 5,000 square. Do it fast.
100 into 10 raised to 6.
100 into,
10 raised to 6.
okay, so I'll write down 100 into 10 raised to 6. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay to each of you? Now let's do that. Here I will get again minus 12 minus 30,000. Here I will get. Here I will get 30,000. Right? Here I will get 30,000. Now here 2L square, right? 2L square, it will become 50, right? Says or no? 50 into 10 to the power 6. 2 into L square. 2 into L. L is 5,000. 5,000 square into 2. Just check it.
15
This
to
value.
10 raised to 6.
Right. Now we'll do it here. Minus 12. 6 into L is 30,000. This is here minus 30,000. And here it is 50 into 10 to the power 6. Then here is 12 minus 30,000 minus 30,000. 4 into L square is 100 into 10 to the power 6. Yes or no? Let me know. Is it okay or not? Is it okay to each of you? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
See,
sir.
as we proceed ahead and ahead, obviously complexity will goes on increasing. Now let me know these values. What is that? 200 into 24 in
0.0384.
point
0384.
into something or not?
No, sir. कोई नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं सर.
0.2384.
0.0384.
Okay. So can you multiply that point? How much it is coming? This value? Point. Let me know. Let me know. It is coming how much? Point.
0.0384.
0.0384. Okay. So you just multiply 0.384 to 12. Do that.
Sir,
me know.
into 3.84 into 10 to the power minus 14 आ रहा है.
नहीं रे सही है ये 0.0384
All of you check
वो
it.
10 to the power
Sir,
minus 6 है ना सर?
फिक्स
It is
रहेगा
-6 नहीं है.
मीटर
-6
से
है.
mm में हो रहा है
Conversion
It is
की
power
है.
6 only. It is 6, not -6. High power is 10 to the power 6. Let me know.
सर ये करेक्ट है, यही आ रहा है.
Let me know.
0.46.
0.4608.
I hope everybody to solve us same, na? Otherwise, should I require that I should solve it?
Yes,
1.56.
करने के बाद बता रहे ये सही है
0.0384.
This is 200 into 24 into 10 raised to power 6. 5,000 cube. 0.384. It's the right value, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you multiply that by 12. Do it. Do it and let me know. Multiply it by 12. Do it.
0.4608.
0.4608. Right? Now you multiplied this by 30,000. Let me know immediately. Multiplied by 30,000.
1152.
0.384 multiplied by 30,000.
1152.
1152.
52.
Next you multiplied by minus 12. So this becomes minus 0.4608. Okay. Again multiplied by 1,000. 1152. 1152 point something. You're not getting something? Point something?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Next again multiplied by 30,000. So it is 1152. Now you multiplied by 100 into 10 to the power 6. 0.0384 multiplied by 100 into 10 to the power 6.
384 into 10 raised to 4.
How much?
384 into 10 raised to 4.
384 into 10 raised to
4.
Okay. Then here you will get minus 11.52. And tell me this 0.0384 into 50 into 10 raised to power 6. Let me know immediately.
192 into 10 raised to 4.
192 into 10 raised to power 4. Right. Next we will do that here again. This is again minus 0.4608. See here it is 12. Here it is minus 12. So I'm just giving minus sign. Then same value is here but with negative sign. So minus 115. Then here it is again 12. So I'll write down 0.4608. Try to understand. You need to do the calculation only for some terms. And this is minus 11.5. Right. Next 30,000 is 1152. 192 into 4. Just check all of you. All of you just check. Is it okay with these values? Right?
Yes, sir.
Now see, this you got, right? What is this? This is a stiffness
sir,
matrix
right
for
here.
element number 1. Stiffness matrix for element number 1. Okay, but see, here you need to write down the degrees of freedom. This is very important, right? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So similarly, I will write 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it okay? Yes or no? Can you find out the same thing for stiffness matrix of element number 2? Can you do that? Stiffness matrix of element number 2. I will do that. Same, na? EI by L cube. See here, E it is same. E is same. I is again same. Is it okay or not? E is same. I is same. Right? Length is again same. Is it okay? All of you try to understand. For element number 2, E is same, I is same, length is same. So obviously this matrix is again same.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, otherwise what you'll do, again you'll keep on finding out. So there is no point. E is same, I is same, length is again same, right? It's 5 meters. So again you're going to end with this same matrix. So I will, instead of solving it again, I will just write down this matrix again. So I'll write down 0.4608 1152 minus 0.4608, again here 1152, right? So here again have 1152, 384 into 10 to the power 4 minus 1152, 192 into 10 to the power 4, then minus 0.4608, right? Next we have minus 1152 minus 0.4608 minus 1152, then 1152, 192 into 10 to the power 4 minus 1152, 384 into 10 to the power 4. Is it okay? All of you just check. I have written the same values. All of you check this, whether I have written same values or not. Right? Now this thing is, we need to just write down their degrees of freedom. So you can check. Let me know what are the
3,
degrees
4,
of freedom.
5, 6.
Right. It has to be 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So I'll write down 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So these are the degrees of freedom. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now see, all of you see here. Here every element will have 2 nodes, right? Every element will have 2 nodes, and each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Okay. So size of the element matrix is 4 by 4. See, for every element, if you talk about element number 1 or element number 2, each element will have 2 nodes, and each node have 2 degrees of freedom. So 2 into 2 is 4. So size of element stiffness matrix is 4 by 4. Now if you talk about this total matrix, that is global matrix. So for total problem, we have 3 nodes, and each node can move in 2 direction. So 3 into 2 is 6, right? So size of our global stiffness matrix will be 6 by 6. Is it okay or not? Okay, so let me write down here. Size of global stiffness matrix. Okay, size of global stiffness matrix is given by number of nodes multiplied by degrees of freedom per node, right? Degrees of freedom per node. So there are 3 nodes, and each node can move in 2 direction. So size of the global stiffness matrix is 6 by 6. Okay. So let's put that matrix, or let's calculate that matrix, global stiffness matrix, which is of size 6 by 6. Okay. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right. Similarly, I will write down here 1, here it is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right. So we need to just pick the element stiffness matrices, and we are supposed to place it, right? We are supposed to place it within global stiffness matrices, right? So let's do that. Let's
And
pick
the
and
first
place.
one, first column, first
Huh.
row.
Huh.
Oh, sorry.
Can you tell me how to do that? How will do that?
So
Just
first,
see Just fix this
And the
matrix,
first
place it here. It is so simple.
फर्स्ट वाली सेम
Right?
उतार दो.
Just get the starting point. What is the starting point? 1, 1. So at 1, 1, I should have 0.4608. At 1, 1, I should have 0.4608. So write down accordingly. 1152 minus 0.4608. 1152, right? Again here 1152, 384 into 10 raised to power 4 minus 1152, 192 into 10 raised to power 4, then minus 0.4608 minus 1152 minus 0.4608, then minus 1152, right? Then 1152, 192 into 10 raised to power 4 minus 1152, 384 into 10 raised to power 4. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Just pick and place, nothing else I done. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now we need to do it for 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So starting point will be 3, 3. Okay, so see this point, 3, 3. So this is the point, right? See, this is 3, this is 3. So this is the starting point. So at 3, 3, I have this value. What is that? Plus 0.4608. Okay, plus 1152, right? See here, plus 1152. Side of that, minus 0.4608. Okay, 1152. Here you have plus 1152. 384 into 10 raised to power 4 minus 1152. 192 into 10 raised to power 4, right? 192 into 10 raised to power 4. Then minus 0.4608 minus 1152 minus 0.4608 minus 1152. Here again 1152.
Hello, sir.
192.
Third column में mistake है.
What happens?
Third row, third column. Sir, वो positive है दोनों.
Which is positive?
Sir, दोनों positive है. 0.4608.
So it is positive, na? I written here.
सब negative लिखा होता है ऊपर वाले को.
See,
वो भी positive.
this is coming from this matrices, na?
Sir, वो positive है.
Which value you are talking about? Let
Sir,
me check.
0.4.
सर एलिमेंट 1 की
Yeah.
थर्ड रो.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This value, na? This value, right? This is okay. This is negative. This is positive. This is negative, and this is positive. Okay. Then here it is positive, negative, positive, right? Then again positive, then negative. Then here it is positive, right? Then here negative, negative.
सर पॉजिटिव
See,
आएगा वो.
this is positive, right? This is positive value, right? Obviously, this is negative, right? Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
यस सर.
Right? So, no, just pick and place. Just pick it and place it. Just pick it and place it. All of you just check with this. Minus, minus. This is minus, minus. Is it okay with this one? All of you just check. Is it
राइट
okay?
सर.
Right? So see, the points where we don't have any element, there we need to put as zero value, right? So I'll put those values zero. Right? All of you just see here. Just see here. Right? Let me know what we are supposed to do afterwards. What we
बाउंड्री
are supposed to
कंडीशन.
do afterwards.
सर डिस्प्लेसमेंट से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे फोर्स निकालना
Right. We need to write down the global matrix, right? Global stiffness matrix or GME, global matrix equation. Now I will write down global matrix equation that is known as GME. Global matrix equation that is known as GME, right? So what is your global matrix equation? That is global stiffness matrix. When you multiply it by displacement, okay, displacement. So that displacement will be either V or theta is given by force. Okay, that will be either force or movement. Okay, F or M, F or M. Right? So this matrix I will write down now. So this is 0.4608 1152 minus 0.4608 1152 00, then 1152 384 into 10 raised to power 4 minus 1152 192 into 10 raised to power 4, then 00, then minus 0.4608, then minus 1152. Tell me this addition. 0.4608 plus
0.9216.
0.9216, and this is 0 minus 0.4608, and this is 1152. Right? Next here it is 1152 192 into 10 raised to power 4. Let me know this is 0. This is 384 into 10 raised to power 4 plus 384 into 10 raised to power 4.
768 into 10 raised to 4.
768 into 10 raised to power 4. Then this is minus 1152, and this is 192 into 10 raised to power 4. Right? Then here we have 0, 0, minus 0.4608, then minus 1152, minus 1152, then 0.4608 minus 1152, right? Then here we will get 0, 0, 1152, 192 into 10 raised to power 4 minus 1152, and 384 into 10 raised to power 4. Is it okay? Yes or no? Clear or not? Let me know. This is your global stiffness matrix. This is to be multiplied by what? Displacements. Now what displacement you have it? You have now V1 theta 1, V2 theta 2, VT 3 theta 3, right? So I'll write down those. V1 theta 1, V2 theta 2, V3 theta 3, right? So these are the displacements. These are the displacements, right? Is equal to, okay, we need to write down what? We need to write down is equal to forces, right? So F1,
F1,
M1,
M1,
right? F2, M2, right? F3 and M3. Is it okay? Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? See, V1 theta 1, V2 theta 2, V3 theta 3, right? So these are the displacements. Okay, V1 is in y direction. V1, V2, V3, they are displacement in y direction at node 1, node 2, node 3. Similarly, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, they are the what? Angular displacements. Listen, V1, V2, V3, they are linear displacements. While theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, they are angular displacements, right? So is equal to F1, F2, F3, these are the vertical forces or vertical reactions. And M1, M2, M3, they are the movements about Z axis. Are you able to understand this? Let me know. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understood.
See, V1, V2, V3, V1, V2, V3, they are the vertical displacements. That means displacement in y direction. theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, they are the angular displacements. That is displacement about angular displacement about z axis. Okay, so this v1 will leads to f1. Similarly, theta 1 will leads to m1. v2 will leads to f2. Theta 2 will leads to m2. Like that. v3 will leads to m3. Theta 3 will leads to m3. Right. So now tell me how to solve.
So
Boundary
boundary
condition.
condition.
Right, we need to apply the boundary condition. Right, so let me know what are the boundary conditions. See the problem and let me know.
First row, first column.
V1
What are the
and
boundary
theta
conditions? Let me know.
0.
See, at node 1, the structure is fixed, right? So v1 is 0, right? Similarly, theta 1 is
1
also 0.
0.
Is it okay or not? v1 and theta 1 are 0. So as v1 is 0, right? v1 and theta 1 is 0. Now you have 4 equation, 4 unknown. Is there anything, any boundary condition is missing?
So V3.
v3 is 0. Why v3 is 0?
नहीं सब theta 3, theta 3.
Theta 3 is 0. Why theta 3 is 0?
सर वो रोलर है ना.
See, if you see this roller can move in x direction, but it can't move in y direction. That means this v3 is 0. Try to understand. v3 is 0. Understood or not? It's a roller. This roller can't move in vertical direction, and v3 is the displacement in vertical direction. So v3 is 0. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Now what happens when v1 is 0? What happens? The first row, right? This first row. So I will roughly cut that.
सर वो V3 वाला एक बार और बताओ ना.
v3, right? See, at node number 3, what do you have? Your roller, na? See, at node number 3, your roller. So this roller can only move in x direction. Whether that roller can move in vertical direction, let me know. Can it move like this in vertical direction?
No.
See, this roller can move only along x-axis. It can move either in left-hand side or it can move in right-hand side. Can it move upward or can it move downward?
No.
Cannot. See, so see, what is V3? What is
Yeah,
V3?
sir, got it.
Displacement in vertical direction. Displacement in vertical direction. So this roller will not move in vertical direction. That's why V3 is 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, when V1 is 0, what happens is first row, okay, and first column, I will make it cancelled. Similarly, theta 1 is 0. So I will cancel, right? Second row, I'll cancel a second row and second column. See, be careful while cancelling, right? Because see, this minus sign, it is important. Minus sign, wherever it is minus sign, it is important. Because further we need to use this equation for the calculation of reactions, right? So don't erase in such a manner that it is not able to read afterwards. Because afterwards you need to use that, right? Next, V3 is 0. So what happens? The fifth row. This is fifth row and this is fifth column. And this is fifth column. Gets cancelled. So what is remaining? You have this equation with, okay, 3 equations with 3 unknown. That is V2, theta 2 and theta 3. And these are the terms. This one, okay, this one, again, this 0, 768 into 10 to the power 4, this one, and this. These are the terms, okay, with the unknowns V2, theta 2, theta 3. Provided we know F2, we know M2, and we know M3. Is it okay? Unless you put F2, M2, and M3, you won't be able to calculate V2, theta 2, and theta 3. Is it okay? Now tell me what is F2?
Minus 20.
See, F2, it is what's force applied at node 2. Whether you applied force, any force at node 2.
20 kilometers.
At node 2, how much you applied? 20 kilonewton, right? So F2 is minus 20. Should I write down here? Minus 20. F2 is minus 20. F2 is minus 20, right? Is it okay or not? Have you applied any movement at node 2? Any movement at node 2? Have you applied any movement at node 2? Is there any movement applied? Like 3 kilonewton, 4 kilonewton meter, like that? Is there any movement is given in the problem at node 2?
No, sir.
No,
Just
sir.
take now.
No, sir.
Is there any movement given like anti-clockwise movement, 3 kilonewton meter, 4 kilonewton meter? Is it given? No, na? So it is 0. Similarly, is there any movement given at node 3? At node 3, is there any movement given? I'm talking about given. 4 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton.
No, sir.
No, so it is 0. So you just put these values, this, right? And you just solve and let me know the value of V2. Similarly, you know me the value of theta 2 and similarly theta 3. Right? Let me know these values.
Minus 37.98 V2.
All of you just tell me how much V2?
That's 37.97.
All of you check. Huh?
Hello.
हाँ,
सर कहते तो मोमेंट जो दिया रहेगा क्वेश्चन में उसी को देखने का सेपरेटली सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते उसको.
no. Why you are separating? So, is there any movement is applied in the given problem?
मतलब कुछ
See, let me clear you. Let me clear you. See. After the application of this load, movement will be produced at node 1. That we are supposed to calculate M1. See, when you apply the force 20 kilonewton, some movement will be generated at node 1, right? Because node 1 is fixed. But is there any movement which is given at node 2 and node 3 in the problem? Is there any movement which is given at node 2 and node 3 in the problem?
No.
कुछ दिया है क्या? No. Then why? How you will take those values? See, when you apply the force of 20 kilonewton, there will be some movement which is generated at the fixed support. Okay, that we are supposed to calculate. But there is no movement given at this point. That is application of load. At the same time, at this point where the roller is there. So how you will take those movements? Right. So let me know V2. What value of V2 you are getting? V2.
The minus 37.98.
All of you check it. Whether you are getting same answer.
Yes, sir. Minus 37.97.
Minus 37.97. Theta 2.
Minus
Minus
3.26.
Minus
Into
3.26.
10 raised to minus 3.
Into
10 raised to minus 3.
theta 3.
0.013.
Into
कुछ नहीं है सर.
all of you check this answer, sir. All of you just check this answer.
Yes, sir. Right.
Right. Now we have calculated the this displacements. Okay, there is linear displacements and angular displacements. Now we need to calculate reactions. So how we calculate F1? F1 is first row, first column. So initial two terms are 0. These two terms are 0. What is remaining? Minus 0.4608 into V2 plus 1152 into theta 2. This is 0. Again, this is 0 is equal to F1. Is equal to F1. So just put the values and tell me the value of F1. Just put the values and tell me the value of F1. Do it fast. tell me value of F1. Similarly, we will calculate M1, that is second row and this column. So initial two terms are 0. So it is 384 into 10 raised to power 4 into V2. Okay. Minus 1152 into theta 2. Okay. Then third term is 0. Fourth,
13.74.
what is that?
13.74.
F1
F1.
is 13.74. Okay, not a problem. Now let's do for M1. Let's do for M1, right? I'll do that. Initial two terms are 0. What is remaining? It's minus 1152 into V2 plus 192 into 10 raised to power 4 into theta 2. Okay. Then these two terms, this into this is 0. So is equal to M1. So calculate the value of M1. Do that. See, this second row multiply by this column. So this into this is 0. Again, this into this is 0. Minus 1152 into V2, that is written. Plus 192 10 raised to power 4 into theta 2, that is written. This into this is 0. Again, this into this is 0. So it's equal to M1. So tell me the value of M1.
$36.79 into 10 raised to 3.
Is it okay? 36.79 into 10 raised to power 3. This kilonewton mm, right? Yes or no? Now we need to calculate F3. See, the point where displacement is 0, at that point we are calculating reactions. So F1 we have calculated, M1 we have calculated. Now we need to calculate F3. F3, right? So this fifth row multiply by this column. So this into this is 0. Again, this into this is again 0. So minus 0.4608 into V2 minus 1152 into theta 2 into theta 2. Then this into this is 0. Right? Minus 1152 into theta 3 is equal to F3. So tell me the value of F3. What you are getting? See, 0.4608 into V2 minus 1152 into theta 2. Minus 1152 into theta 3 is equal to F3. So tell me how much?
6.28.
6.28 kilonewton. 6.28. Right? Is it okay or not?
5.99.
All of you tell me a single answer which is right.
6.
Okay, let take this. Right? Now take the summation of forces. Okay, so obviously forces will come in y direction because it's a beam. Okay, so which are those forces? F1 plus F2 plus F3, right? So F1, what is F1? Just you have calculated 13.74 plus F2. Okay, it is minus 20 plus F3, you have calculated 6.28. So tell me this, how much it is coming? 13.74 minus 20 plus 6.28.
0.
Huh? It is coming exactly 0. But it is approximately 0.
0.02.
No, sir.
So that is approximately equal, right? Now if you take the summation of movement, summation of movement about Z, so that is M1 plus M2 plus M3, right? So M1, what is M1 you have calculated? 36.79 into 10 raised to power 3, right? M2 is 0 plus M3 is 0. Okay. So what summation of movement you are getting? 36.79 into 10 raised to power 3. Listen. summation of movement will never be equal to 0. Summation of movement will never be equal to 0. See the reason. Let me draw that diagram again. See, this is your truss. See, this is your beam, right? Yes or no? This is your beam, na? This is the beam. Okay, how much force you applied here at node 2? See here, at node 2, how much it is applied? 20 kilonewton, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
Let
sir.
me know. So in order to balance this 20 kilonewton, at node 1, how much it is produced? How it is balanced? 20 kilonewton, it is balanced at the two ends as 13.74 and what? And 6.28. Is it okay or not?
Yes,
This
sir.
one, whatever 20 kilonewton you applied, it is balanced at node 1 as 13.74 kilonewton and at node 3 as 6.28 kilonewton. So your summation, see, so you reach the condition of equilibrium, right? Is it okay or not? Now see, what is the case? Now if you see at node 1, what moment is produced? See here, what moment is produced? When you apply 20 kilonewton, what moment is produced? M1. Okay, and that is coming in what direction? It is a positive value. Okay, so for what is a positive value? It's anti-clockwise. Okay, so here how much movement is produced? Anti-clockwise, and that is
36.
36.79 into 10 to the power 3. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Now see, this summation of movement, it is not coming to 0. How it will comes to 0? See, this movement, it is produced by application of 20 kilonewton. So if you want to balance this movement, you need to produce a movement of same magnitude but with opposite direction. If you want to balance it, if you want to balance this movement, you want to produce a movement with same magnitude but with different direction. So this movement, okay, you need to produce. So I will produce a same movement, okay, the movement with same magnitude but with the different direction. I have the movement produced in anti-clockwise, so I will produce the movement in clockwise. That is with the same magnitude, that is 36 into 10 to the power 36.79 into 10 to the power 3. But in which direction? But in which direction? Clockwise direction. Then only this, okay, this structure will be balanced. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
सर लेकिन
Simple.
आपने
ये
जो
देखो, ये
बनाया
देखो,
तो सर आपने
No, no,
वहां
no.
पर बनाया तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी वहां पर वो ये बन जाएंगे सर इसके लिए बैलेंस के लिए तो सर कैलकुलेशन
We to बोल रहा हूँ ना, see, why the movement is not get balanced? Why the movement is not get balanced? Because when you apply the force, na, it is get deformed like this, na. Yes or no? When you apply the force, it get deforms like this. That means this is the movement produced. अरे ये movement produce हो, उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ? ऐसा bend हुआ ना? It is bent in this
Yes, sir.
manner. So if you need to bring it to initial position, let's say it is going to get deformed like this. If you want to bring it again like horizontal, what do you need to do then? What do you need to do then? You need to produce a movement of same magnitude but with different direction. Then it will brings to its original position. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Getting or not? See, when you apply the force, it
Yes,
is going
sir.
to bend like this. So movement produces 36.79 into 10 to the power 3 in anti-clockwise direction. Now it is like this. It is like a dotted shape. Now if you need to again bring it to its original position, you need to produce the movement with the same magnitude but with a different direction. That is in clockwise direction. Then only it is going to regain its original position. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay now? Right? Now see here. What direction of V2 I assume? All of you check. What direction of V2 I assume? Upward. Okay. But I calculated what sign I'm getting. Check it. What sign I'm
Negative.
getting? Negative. That means the direction of V2 which I assume is wrong. Then what is right direction of V2? It should go downward.
Downward.
But is it going to affect this magnitude? whatever the direction that you assume, is it going to affect its magnitude?
No, sir.
No,
No.
No,
it is
sir.
not going to affect the magnitude, right? So when we are solving the problem, okay, we don't know exactly. See, when we are solving the problem, we don't know exactly, right? What is the direction of the displacement, right? We don't know exactly those values, right? So in that case, we need to assume some displacements, that is v1, v2, v3, we need to assume as a positive. Okay. Similarly, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, these are the angular displacements which you need to assume as anti-clockwise, that is positive. And when we calculate their values, at that time we understand their direction. V2 was upward, that is positive, but if V2 it is coming, it is negative, that means it is going downward. Similar case with theta 2, see here, theta 2. Theta 2, it is in anti-clockwise, that's why it is positive, plus theta 2, it is coming negative, that means it is clockwise. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But check for theta 3. Theta 3, it is anti-clockwise, that is positive, and here it is again coming positive. So its direction, what I assume, it's correct.
Assumption is right.
Right? Is it okay with this one or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Understood this problem or not? Let me know. Is it okay to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now see, let me summarize. See, when we solve the problem, it takes a long time. Okay, but when we summarize it at times, the things become very clear what you have done exactly. Right? So see, okay, this problem which was given. Okay, in the problem, what is expected that you should calculate the displacement. At the same time, you calculate.
सर वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Now see, the problem which was given, they are expected to calculate displacement and reactant modes. What we have done is basically we have divided this problem.
म्यूट करो आपका.
रैयान इधर आ.
So someone's mic is unmute.
See, in the problem, this was the problem which was given. This is basically a beam, okay, where they applied 20 kilonewton. At this point, they have provided with the roller. At this point, it is fixed. Okay, so obviously this is a beam. So each node will have displacement in vertical direction, that is v1, v2, v3. Similarly, angular displacement about z-axis, that is theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. That means if you consider each element will have 2 degrees, each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. Okay, displacement in y direction as well as angular displacement about z-axis. Okay, so that we are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the meaning of 1? It is v1. Meaning of 2, it is theta 1. Right? Meaning of 3 is v2. Meaning of 4 is theta 2. Meaning of 5 is v3. Meaning of 6 is theta 3. Right? So basically, this was the problem given. We have discretized into 2 elements, element number 1 and element number 2. We have formed 3 nodes, node 1, node 2, node 3. Each node will have displacement in vertical direction, that is v1, v2, v3. And each node will have angular displacement about z-axis, that is theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. For the assumptions, we have taken upward positive and anti-clockwise positive. Now, what we have done? This is the EME for truss. Okay, we have written this EME for individual element. For element number 1, we have written. For element number 2, we have written. Okay, this is for element number 1. For element number 2. Now, for element number 1, okay, we have written the number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because for element number 1, degrees of freedom are 1, 2, 3, 4. For element number 2, degrees of freedom are 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is 3, 4, 5, 6 for element number 2. Now, there are 3 nodes. Each node can move in 2 directions. So 3 into 2 is 6. So size of the global matrix is 6 by 6. Okay. So we have just pick the element matrices and place it in a global matrices. Similarly, we have picked this element matrices and we have placed it in a global matrices. So we have got this global matrix, right? Now, once we have these global matrices, we have written the global matrix equation. That is global matrix multiplied by displacement is given by force. So this is global matrices. Which are the displacements? V1 theta 1, V2 theta 2, V3 theta 3 is equal to obviously F1 M1, F2 M2, M3, F3 M3. Right? So now we impose the boundary conditions. Okay, at node 1, it is fixed. So everything at node 1 is 0. So V1 0, theta 1 0. Similarly, at node 3, it is roller. It can't move in vertical direction. That's why V3 is 0. Right? So this V3 is 0. So now we have a system of 3 equations with 3 unknown. Okay, so we are interested to calculate V2 theta 2 theta 3. Okay, and F2 M2 M3 we need to put. So what is F2? What is F2? See here, force applied at node 3. So what force it is applied at node 2? It is 20 kilonewton. That is going downwards. So I have taken minus. Okay, what is M2? Movement at node 2. So they haven't applied any movement at node 2. So it is 0. Similarly, they haven't applied any movement at node 3. So M3 is 0. Okay, so by solving this, we got this V2 theta 2 theta 3. After that, we have calculated reaction F1, M1, and F3. Okay, these reactions we have calculated. F1 is first row, this column. M1 is second row, this column. And F3 is this fifth row, this column. So this is how we have calculated. Now, when we have calculated reactions, we have checked the condition of equilibrium. F1 we have checked. Summation of Fy we have checked. That is F1, F2, F3. Okay, it is coming approximately 0. Summation of movement we have checked. Okay, so it is coming some value. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay to each of you? Is it okay to each of you or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to stop here. Okay. So in the next lecture, we will solve one more problem on the beam. Okay. So after that, we'll be able to start with the shape functions for 2D element. So in the next lecture, we will take one more problem on this beam. And after that, we will start with the shape functions for 2D element. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.